Brothers and sisters, we are approaching the end of the Lenten season. And as Jesus turns his face to Jerusalem, the image of the cross comes into sharper focus. As the language of suffering intensifies, it becomes evident that for Jesus, death is inevitable. His mind is squarely fixed on the cross, and for him there is no turning back. As he makes his final trip to Jerusalem, he is fully aware that it leads to Golgotha, where he will lay down his life for the world. In John 12, verse 24, Jesus makes this very clear. He says, "Very truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Those who love their life will lose it, and those who hate their life in this world will keep it to eternity." This passage is set in the last week of Jesus' life, where his earthly ministry is heading to its climax. The anticipation builds. His deeds of power intensify, and his popularity soars so much that crowds flock from everywhere to see him. This includes some Greeks who came to Philip with a strange request. They had heard of the deeds of this wonder worker, so they came to Philip and said, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." In response, Jesus uses the opportunity for a teaching moment regarding discipleship. As a general commentary of what it means to follow Christ, he issues one of his famous passion statements. Interestingly, these statements regarding his suffering often comes in a context where individuals are considering discipleship. Evidently, Jesus is making it clear to his would-be followers that discipleship is often not the bed of roses that many assume. Rather, if one is serious about following Christ, if one's faith is going to mean anything, then suffering must be embraced as part of the journey. It is also striking that Jesus spoke these challenging words about following when the disciples had their own ideas about what that meant, and when their witness appears to be bearing some fruit. Today, we are living in a time when many are tempted to present the good news of Christ in a way that excludes suffering. Ours is an era where the church has become a numbers game. And in order to make the gospel more appealing, we couch it in ways that exclude suffering. But Christ is clear. There is no glory without suffering, and there is no crown without a cross. As he addresses his would-be followers of his time and ours, John invites us to consider our priorities relative to discipleship. At times, discipleship demands that we live a life of self-sacrifice, relinquishing some of the people, places, and things that we often find so appealing. That in order to uphold righteousness and justice, we must confront with suffering. You see, friends, when we try to dress up the gospel to make it sweet, which it really is, we end up making it not only cheap, but empty the cross of its transforming power. In this passage, Jesus speaks of his own glorification in the context of the cross, which in John's Gospel are synonymous and equally necessary in discipleship. Jesus never sugarcoated the gospel, and neither should we. Amen.